Good evening, guys. How are you? Good evening. Good evening. Hello, hello. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, Soumya. Hello. Good evening. Couple of minutes we'll give time so that we can allow the other peoples to join in, and we'll definitely answer all the queries. Give me a couple of minutes. I hope I don't have any background noises. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Hello, good evening. I'll give a couple of minutes of time so that I can allow more people to join in. We have already good number of peoples. I'm just giving a couple of minutes of time. I'm fine, guys. I'm fine as usual. Lockout period, enjoying the lockout period. Everyone is fine, I think. Everyone is enjoying the lockdown period. Everyone is at home. Hopefully they are trying something new. Hello. Hello. One more minute. I'll start the session. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, good evening. Hello. Let me know my voice is clear so that I can start my session. Hopefully my voice is clear. So you can message me if my voice is clear. Let me know once my voice is clear by your comments. Yes. Okay. Yes, my voice is clear. Okay. So let's start the session. What is the agenda item? I'll speak about agenda item. Most of points are career related. So and thank you so much for all the people who have given me so many questions to answer. So it's one more time lot of questions to be answered. Let's make it as much as interactive, and I'm thankful to all the pharmacists who have responded with lot of questions. We'll work it out on the questions also. Before that, I have some agenda to speak. I'll speak about agenda, and then I'll start working on it. So first aspect what I'm going to discuss is I'm going to discuss about the history of clinical research. I'm going to discuss about history of clinical research. The second one is what is the advantage of a pharmacist to work in clinical research. So let it be a PharmD, B Pharm or M Pharm. What are the advantages of PharmDs to work in clinical research? And the third important point, how pharmacists can work in IT sectors. So either it is PharmD, B Pharm or M Pharm, do we need to have knowledge of databases or IT languages or IT sectors? All these things, a lot of people have put questions also. I have good number of questions. I'll speak about that as a third agenda. And fourth agenda, very interesting, what are the careers? What are the careers? Apart from, for a PharmD, we think like we have a clinical pharmacist. Apart from clinical pharmacist, what are the other areas of the growth? and why it is important rather than going into the other areas. So I will be speaking about the careers. I'll start speaking about clinical trials, clinical data management, pharmacovigilance, and clinical SaaS, CDISC, medical writing, regulatory affairs, trial master files, and also about the artificial intelligence, how we can go and work on this. So I'll be speaking about that, and after that I'll be speaking about the placements, which are the companies which are offering placements. What are the placements for PharmDs, B Farms and M Farms? So I'll be speaking about that, and I'll be speaking different job roles which are available in IT sectors, and I'll be speaking more focus point today. So many people have asked these questions. I have a lot of questions. I have around 20 questions as of now, 20-25 questions. A lot of people have asked how the clinical research is growing in other countries. How can we learn here and start working on that? So do we need any certifications to work in other countries? So that aspect I'll be speaking about that, and I'll be speaking about what is Clinosol all about, and I'll be speaking about any other people who can work in clinical research, and final topic will be my Q&A, question and answers, and with that we'll close our session. So that is our agenda of today's session. So if you need any points to be added into this session, please put it in comment. I can add that now also. Any comments or any aspects or any things which you wanted to listen from me, you can let me know. Hello guys, please don't send the requests. I'm not going to accept that request to anyone else, because it's our live session, and I'm only going to discuss about this live session. That's one aspect which I wanted to tell. Yeah, coming back to history. So what is this actually clinical trials, and where from we started clinical trials? So I think way back in 1700 there was a person called as James Lind, and he is the person who was traveling in ocean, and he was a sailor, and he has identified that there are the people who are suffering with scurvy. I think scurvy, everyone knows about it, right? So you have a bleeding gums in a scurvy. So he has identified scurvy, and then he started testing the scurvy patients with a crossover design. It means that they have taken two groups of sailors. One group they have given plain water. The other group he has given citrus fruits, I think high in vitamin C. So he has given that citrus fruits to the patients. Unfortunately, the patients who are being given citrus fruits were being treated with scurvy. The other group who are taking a plain water were not being treated. So that's the first ever clinical trials happened in 1700th century. So now till now also we celebrate clinical trial day, the day when the James Lind started the trial. It's not the birthday or death anniversary. It's the day when James Lind started his first clinical trial in the world. So now from there, what we have done is we have traveled so much ahead, and now we are working with technologies how we can go ahead with a new drugs or a new vaccines. So that's where the phase is lying now. Now we are hearing lot about problem of coronavirus, and lot of problems about why we are unable to bring up the new drugs, why we are unable to bring new vaccines. Now a simple answer is, earlier days it was only preclinical studies. So now you discover a drug, you go for a preclinical study, and once preclinical studies, when you test it on animals, if it is showing efficacy as well as safety, you directly go and put it into market. But unfortunately, most of drugs got failed. So now when people started asking like why these drugs are failed, because this was not at all tested on human beings. This was only tested on animals, and human beings are a separate entity. We can't control a human being. So because during the lockdown period also, now you are seeing most of the news, we are not able to control the people. How much times we are saying that stay home, stay safe, but still people are roaming on the roads to see what is happening. So that is a problem with Indians, or that's a problem with human beings. It's a problem of human beings. If I say to take a 500 mg of paracetamol, they will take 10,000 mg of paracetamol tablet, because their assumption is if I take 4 times dose, 5 times dose, my fever will reduce immediately. But actually the problem is it's happening with overdose. So that is a problem. So now here comes, we started thinking about conducting of clinical trials. But when in 1800s or 1900s, when we started the clinical trials, it was completely paper based, because we were not having systems, we were not having this much technology, we were not having this much systems, we were working on papers. But now technology has grown so much. Now what we are trying to tell is, within 4 months of a time we can release a vaccine if vaccine is available. So that is a technology advancement, it came into it, and we are ready to adapt the technologies and to work on clinical trials very quickly. So that is where we are focusing on that. So how technology is reducing the time to bring a new drug into the market. Now remember guys, when I am speaking about this, we are working still on the drug discovery, we are still working on safety and efficacy of the drugs. But here the condition is new drugs, new vaccines, new devices, new cosmetic products. So these are the aspects which our pharmacists should be ready to take it up. So that's the history, and I'll be focusing on the next point, what is actually a pharmacist. Okay, I think everyone who are attending the sessions are pharmacists. So now when we started our career, we thought like it's by chance or by choice. It's obviously we have not taken pharmacy as a career by choice. So no one has born saying that I'll become a pharmacist, because still the assumption is pharmacists work in medical shop. Okay, still I hear that when we say they are PharmDs, they speak, is this a D.Pharm, diploma in pharmacy? So there is a vast difference. There is a vast difference in a PharmD and a D.Pharm. But people have a wrong impression. So now I'll tell my live example. When I started my education, most of people does not know, but basically I'm a pharmacologist. I'm a M.Pharm pharmacologist. Later on I did my masters in clinical research. So I did my double PG. So but when I started my career, or when I started my education, so my parents wanted me to become an engineer. Okay, either two things, either you become an engineer or a doctor. So my parents wanted me to become an engineer. So now to become an engineer, I have to take a maths subject, or MPC, maths, physics and chemistry. Now unfortunately or fortunately, I started my plus 2 in MPC. So most of people may not know that I'm a maths student. I'm not a biology or I'm not a BPC student. So when I took my MPC, then I went after that, what to be done. Okay, by choice or by chance, my parents wanted me to start a medical store. So somehow he will survive with a medical store. So they started thinking like he will do his diploma and he will complete his diploma. So now then I joined one college as a D.Pharm. So when I started studying in D.Pharm, when I completed second year of D.Pharm, my professor called my parents saying that your son is very good and he has to do his B.Pharm. So else with a D.Pharm, if he opens a medical store also, it's useless for him. Then my parents said, yeah, go for it. Then I started doing B.Pharm. Then once B.Pharm has completed, my parents have got a very good impression on me, saying that okay, let him do his PG also before he goes for a job. So then I started doing my PG. But fortunately, when I completed my M.Pharm, I started working in clinical research. Now when I started working in clinical research, in down the line, I think 2006. So now it's already 14-15 years. Now clinical research has grown a drastic changes. When I started my career, I was working on paper studies. But now the paper studies has gone into electronic has gone into artificial intelligence, and now we are working on wearables also. I think I was listening to one of the session, and in wearables there are different types of wearables. We have mobile apps, we have smart watches, even we have smart t-shirts, where we can wear the t-shirt and t-shirt will give messages to our mobile saying that your BP is this, your heart rate is this. And we have smart shoes, we have smart glasses, we have smart lenses, and we have patches. So everything is wearable, okay, which is attaching to our body and giving responses what is happening to our body. Now if we are not ready to adopt that technology, and we are still thinking that we wanted to do it at the previous backgrounds of how we take blood pressure and all those things, we are not growing in our industries. So that's where I wanted to focus. And remember guys, as a pharmacist we should feel happy. I'll tell you two reasons. I think when I started my career, I was thinking like doctors are a very big people. Doctors have a lot of ego. They don't allow us to talk. They don't listen when we speak. But when I had a chance, I think last year in the December, when I had a chance to speak to a doctors, okay, I was called as a speaker in ISCR, Indian Society for Clinical Research. They had one session in Indo-American Cancer Hospital, and they called me saying that Mujib, you have to speak about artificial intelligence in clinical research. I asked who are the people who are attending it. So they said it's all doctors. It's all doctors, oncologists, cancer specialists, big doctors will be attending my session. So I said okay. So my dream came true when I was standing on a stage and nearly 80-90 doctors were listening to me. And as a pharmacist, we should feel proud of that. As a pharmacologist, we should feel proud of that. That how we are uplifting the profession as a pharmacy, what we are giving back to our society as a pharmacist. We should start working on those lines and stop complaining that we are not getting jobs. Jobs are there. Scope is there. We just have to stop complaining and improve the positivity that how can I improve the life of the healthcare systems or the life of the patients. So that's something which we have to very sincerely we have to work on it. Then pharmacists, absolutely they will be in demand. So they call me as a speaker. I go for an international speaker, and I say very proudly that I am a pharmacist, and we should be happy for that. So please, no pharmacist should be degraded. All pharmacists, we have very good amount of scope. Either it is PharmD, B Pharm or M Pharm, we have a very good scope in drug discovery or devices discovery or cosmetic discovery. So that's about the pharmacist and advantage of pharmacist in clinical research. Remember guys, there is a guidelines and we are following those guidelines 100%. That guideline strictly says that it has to be a pharmacist who has to work in clinical research. It can't be any other people who can work in this. And that guidelines is your GCP. Okay, good clinical practices, which is being given by ICH. I don't want to speak about any technicality of this. That is what is advantage of pharmacist. Only pharmacist can work, or you can say its life science background can work. But when a BSc or a PharmD or a B Pharm is going for an interview, it's always preference is given to a pharmacist to work on this. That's about advantages of pharmacist. Now, biggest question. How pharmacists can work in IT sector? Most of questions are related to this. So is this a different field? Is this a separate industry? Or those questions came into picture. Now what happened, IT companies, you name any IT company. So now I'll give one classic example, Google. Okay, Google is a #1 company in the world, and Google has developed systems. Google has developed systems where it can assess the patient history and provide the details that when you will have heart attack. So that's something which they are doing a research. I think Sundar Pichai has recently given one statement how artificial intelligence is implementing in terms of healthcare of the patient. So now IT companies are back of clinical research because we are not going to collect any data in paper. So we are stopping studies on paper. We are going on to the systems, onto the databases. I think before 2 months or 3 months, no one would have expected that there will be a live session by Mujib and we will be attending from home. But situation has came such that everyone is sitting at home and they are enjoying the learnings. So that's happened. Because of COVID, we have understood that we have to change our mentality. How can I listen to a live session? How can I attend from a remote location? How can I get the same knowledge, same aspects by sitting at home? So that's where we have to grow up. So now all IT companies have invested so much money on particularly of drug discovery. How the testing of human beings are being done, how the data is being captured, how the data is being given to all companies, all those aspects we are looking at IT companies. Now you name any IT company, they are hiring pharmacists. Absolutely no doubt about it. And pharmacist is preferenced for clinical research. Now PharmDs. Okay, now biggest question, PharmDs. What is the aspects and jobs and all those things. So I'll not focus on only one aspect today. I'll be speaking about most of aspects because PharmDs have a lot of questions. I'll be answering those questions in Q&A also. So now PharmDs can work in Deloitte. PharmDs can work in Oracle, who can work in Accenture. See, one simple answer. You see Mujib, right? Mujib is me. And now I have worked in Accenture, I have worked in Cognizant, and I have worked in Oracle. Now when you work on IT companies, you have that kind of lifestyle where you wanted to enjoy your weekends, Saturday, Sundays, and you wanted to have a lot of parties and work from homes and no logins, no logouts. Anytime you go, anytime you come, whatever you want to wear, you can wear. T-shirts, jeans, whatever you want to wear. And you wanted to enjoy that free food, free lunch, any dishes. All these things are there in IT companies and you are being demanded. Okay, being a pharmacologist, I was being reported with IITs. So the computer science IITs were being reporting to me. And I was telling that I want this data. I want the patient comorbidities, medical histories, when it happened, and after that, what is the adverse event, what is the link between medical histories and adverse events. These all terms, as a pharmacist, as a clinical research professional, we have to tell to a IT person. Rather than IT person can understand these all things. So this is what is a pharmacist. So be happy that we came into the pharmacy area, and IT companies are looking for all pharmacists. Either it is PharmD, BPharm or MPharm. And remember guys, one more very happiest situation for all pharmacists, clinical research professionals. COVID has given us such a story that you may earn money or you may not earn money. If you don't have new drugs, new medicines for the diseases, you can't survive. So it means that clinical research is growing like anything after COVID also. Now people are looking like anything, educated, uneducated, known, not known. Everyone wants one thing, vaccine for corona. And if you are working in clinical research, you can bring up a new vaccine. So that's where the happiest situation for all pharmacists, PharmDs and BPharms and MPharms and all those aspects. So now you have wonderful jobs. And one more aspect which I wanted to concentrate. Do we need to have a knowledge on SQL, C language or C# or Java? These are the questions which are generally being asked. So remember guys, I have not learned any languages in my life. I know only few languages, which is English and Hindi and Telugu. I don't know Java or C language. I don't know all these languages. We know how the patient data has to be collected and how it should look in the system and how it should look in the system. Okay, so now that you have to understand, but we don't know. See, you use Gmail, yes or no? Now do you know how Gmail works backend? Do we need to know how Gmail works in backend to know how we send a mail? Everyone knows how to send a mail because we are users. The person who is developing the Gmail are the IT people, and we don't need to learn all these things. So it's a simple fact, but it's a myth that we have to learn programming language to go into these industries. It's a myth. It's a complete myth. So we should have a good knowledge on clinical research, absolutely. But here I am putting one condition apply. The persons who are very much adaptive for new technologies. I think some of my students have given a couple of publications, wonderful publications, wearable in clinical trials, artificial intelligence in drug discovery. If these people are thinking in that level of technology advancement, now as a pharmacist, PharmDs, BPharm, MPharm, if you start thinking in that lines, never look back against that. You will have wonderful jobs because you know how to use the databases. you know how to use the systems. Okay, but no need of learning technology. But yes, we have to know how technology works. If we don't know how technology works, so how do you know that this data has to be collected? So be ready for adaptive. Any one of us have started using mobile before 20-30 years? No one has taught us. But everyone now are using phones. Everyone are telling new things. I think sometimes I don't know most of things. My student explained me that, sir, this is how you have to do. So some people, when I asked my students how to use Snapchat, so I really don't know what is Snapchat also. So they started explaining, this is how, sir. So our students, your generation is absolutely ready to adapt technologies. And you just have to focus on adapting technologies. That's it. So that is where you don't need to learn systems, you don't need to learn programming languages, but somehow you have to know about electronic system, how the data is being collected electronically. So that is what you have to understand. And next point, careers. Okay, careers of PharmDs, B.Pharm, M.Pharm in clinical research. Now clinical research itself is a big tree. Okay, when we started it was only small, but now it's a big tree. So now in clinical research, the first aspect comes as clinical trials. Okay, now you go to patients, you perform clinical trials, and when you are conducting a clinical trials on a human beings, so you should have inclusion criteria, exclusion criteria, drug dispensing, drug accountability, all these things comes up. To conduct a clinical trials, there are the people who are required to know about the clinical trials in depth of knowledge. It's not knowing about what are the phases of clinical trials, I know most of things. No. What are the essential documents? What are the documents to be used in clinical trials? All those depth knowledge, if you have, you can work in clinical trials. And in clinical trials, you can work in hospitals. And in hospitals, you can work as a clinical research coordinator, which is CRC. And you can even work as CRA, clinical research associate. You can even work as ethics committee coordinator. Ethics committee has grown up like anything. Next week you will have one more live session from a ethics committee CEO. We'll be posting that in the Instagram and Facebook. So you will be hearing how ethics committee has grown from paper to digital. So wonderful topic. And you have jobs in ethics committee coordinators. Yes, we have jobs in ethics committee coordinators. And yes, after ethics committees, you will also have a jobs of clinical trial associates. Okay, these are the jobs, clinical trial associates. And in this, career level of growth in clinical trials also too much high. Okay, but you should have good knowledge on clinical trials and your guidelines, regulations, as well as on systems. That's about clinical trials. You have very good scope on clinical trials. Yeah guys, Warangal is waiting, I understand, but you have to give some more time for me to travel to Warangal. Yeah, after that you have clinical data management. When you collect the data, as I'm speaking about collection of data, so clinical data management, what happens is you collect the data, you validate the data, you analyze the data, and you transfer the data. These are the four things you will do: collection of a data, validation of a data, analyzing of a data, and transfer of the data. So now when you are telling this all four words, all this data is coming from clinical trials. So when you are coming from clinical trials, you should have a pharmacist to understand what is the importance of this data. Now any unknown person will not know what is good at clinical trials. But pharmacists, we know how the clinical trials have to be conducted. Now when you know how the clinical trials have to be conducted, you will also understand what data has to be collected, how it has to be collected, and how it has to be analyzed. So these are the four things which you have to understand. And in CDM you have huge number of jobs. All IT companies, CROs, pharma companies, everyone is looking at CDM jobs. And in CDM you have CRF designers, edit check specification creation, QC testing, UAT testing, discrepancy management, and clinical coding and data transfer teams. So there are a huge number of teams. You can work any of these teams. And don't ask me which team is good. Every team is good unless and until you are learning in depth. And you have PV. I think most of PharmDs, somehow they have put in their minds that we only have to work in pharmacovigilance. So now it's not like that. You can work in any of these industries. Pharmacovigilance, yes, PharmDs have an assumption that we are good to work in pharmacovigilance, but you have other fields also to work in the other areas. But what is pharmacovigilance? You detect it, you assess it, you understand it, and you prevent it. 4 aspects. You detect, you first identify the problem, and the second aspect, you understand the problem, and third aspect, you assess the problem, fourth aspect, you prevent the problem. So now here problem is, you just say adverse event. It's not only adverse event but also any drug related risk. So now rather than speaking about this, you can speak like pharmacovigilance is science and activity which defines about detection, assessment, understanding and prevention of adverse events and drug related risks. So this is what is the answer, what you have to provide this answer. And yes, pharmacovigilance also you have multiple teams. So now you should understand, in pharmacovigilance you have DSA role, signal management role, and you have clinical coding role, you have triage role, you have reporting role, and you have recall role. Okay, you have different teams. You can't say that, sir, I can only work in yeah guys, hold your questions. I'll do it at the end. Hold your questions please. Okay, so many people says that pharmacovigilance does not have growth and all those things. So these are the people who are not able to grow in their career, who are not ready to learn. So if you are ready to learn pharmacovigilance itself, you will get huge amount of salaries. I have seen my students who are working in pharmacovigilance and earning more than 15-16 lakhs of salaries with 4 years of experience. Okay, it's only your interest which you have to grow in your career. So someone will not tell you that what you have to do. So you have to understand how to grow in industry. And I think after PV there is a job which is SAS, and to be very honest to you, SAS requires some of the basic knowledge of programming, because most of people will say that SAS is very good at this, but you need some programming language. And we give training on SAS, but we give also SQL with this. SAS has to be learned with SQL, structural query language. So if you don't learn SQL, you can't learn programming language, because SAS itself is a programming language. But you have wonderful jobs, statistical analysis systems, wonderful jobs. The data which you are getting from clinical trials, you will collect it and manage the data in CDM and send it to statistical analysis. Before statistical analysis, there is a stabilization of a data, and there are new jobs coming up. That kind of jobs are CDISC, clinical data interchange standard consortium jobs, and you have wonderful job opportunities in CDISC also. I'm sorry. And next jobs, trial master files. Now PharmDs, basic PharmDs, everyone PharmDs, trial master files. Companies are looking at trial master file jobs for specific to PharmDs. So now you should be happy. Trial master files. How can I make all documents as electronic copy and put it in a trial master file? Okay, to get into this industry also, you should have a very good knowledge on clinical trials and CDM and pharmacovigilance and SAS, because you should understand how the documents electronically will be stored. No paper documents, guys, please, because I think COVID has taught so many things. One of it is rather than using paper studies, start using electronics. And medical writing, yes, PharmDs, BPharm, MPharm, everyone can work in medical writing. The people of medical writing will start working on your protocol development or clinical study report development or ICF development or case report form development or any PSURs or PEDARs or PEBDARs. All these documents will be developed by this medical writing teams. And there is one more team which is regulatory affairs. Regulatory affairs also is a very good team, but you should have a very good knowledge on clinical research, guidelines, regulations, SOPs, and almost all international aspects of regulatory affairs. And there is new job for specifically PharmDs, HEOR, health economics and outcome research. So this is also a new team. We are also providing trainings on HEORs. how the health outcomes will affect the economics of the country. Okay, now COVID vaccine is available. Now if that vaccine is sold at 2 lakhs, how many of us can spend 2 lakhs? Now how the cost of the vaccine should be there, so that it reaches to poorest people. So that's something which we have to understand in HEOR. So that is also one of the aspects which we wanted to look at it. Now salaries. So most of people had this question, salaries. So PharmD's salary starts from 2.6 lakhs until it reaches to 4.5 lakhs also. I have seen students who have got 4.5 lakhs also. And B.Pharms, M.Pharms, it starts with 2.2 lakhs for a B.Pharms. M.Pharms, they are nearly to a PharmD's. And companies, all IT companies, all CROs, all pharma companies, all top companies are in India. All top 5 CROs, all top 5 IT companies, all top 5 pharma companies are in India. Yeah, so now the next question, what are the placements for PharmD's and B.Pharms and M.Pharms? So I think most of questions from PharmD's came up saying that how many companies PharmD's are being hired. So PharmD's, as of now, the ratio of a PharmD's who got placed from Clinosol is 40%, 40 to 50% of students are PharmD's, and remaining are from B.Pharms and M.Pharms. Our students were being placed in Quintiles, PPD, Covance and Parexel, Syneos and Global Data, and also Apollo, and also in the other hospitals. And apart from this, CROs, IT companies, our PharmD's were placed in Cognizant, Icon and Accenture. And we were also being able to place our students in Wipro. So these are the list of students who have got placed. And Cognizant, I think recently 3 PharmD's got placed. 1 PharmD, 2 PharmD's from there is a college from Khammam. So 2 students from PharmD, they got placed in Cognizant, and 1 PharmD got placed in Accenture in CDM, and 1 PharmD recently who got placed with 3.8 lakhs from Hyderabad itself. And recent placement of PharmD who have got 2.8 lakhs, there is 1 PharmD. So you have lot of jobs, guys. And 1 more PharmD who have got 4.8 lakhs in IQVIA or Quintiles. Yeah, yearly, guys. All the salaries are yearly. Don't think you will be given monthly. Come out of your dreamy world. No one is ready to pay you 2.8 lakhs per month. Do you think that you are from IITs? So good jokes. It's yearly, not monthly. 2.8 lakhs per month. I will only go for jobs. Thank you so much. So, but wonderful jokes. It's not yearly, it's monthly. Sorry, it's not monthly, it's yearly. Okay, so always packages will be spoken yearly, not monthly. Do you think that 4.8 lakhs per month they will pay you? We have 2 horns on our heads to get 4.8 lakhs or 2.8 lakhs as a fresher salary. Good one. So, but definitely no. Okay. Now, what is the comparison of other jobs with clinical research? I'll be comparing this other jobs. Give me a minute. I'll be comparing the other jobs with the clinical research jobs. The first jobs comparison is if we want to go in production, okay, like QA QC jobs. So now you have to work in a QA QC job, the same kind of work, repetitive work. There will not be any challenges. Okay, any challenges will not be there. You will be going into a pharmaceutical production. You will be manufacturing tablets that you will do for lifelong. But the salary which you have growth in industry or production, you will not see much hikes. But in clinical research, you will see good number of hikes, like 30%, 40% of hikes. So that's about production and marketing. Now, people wanted to work in IT sector. rather than going into roads and roaming here and there. Now you will feel happy that I work for Accenture, I work for Oracle. So you will feel happy for that. So marketing jobs comparison is that. Salaries also towards marketing, clinical research jobs are good. And one more thing, when clinical research experience grows, your value grows. How many trials if you have worked, that much you will be given more salaries. Okay, that's comparison between the marketing jobs and hospital jobs. Now hospital jobs also, now if you start working as a pharmacist in a hospital, now for lifelong they'll be paying you 20,000 or 25,000. Now in clinical research, if you start salary of 20,000, in 3-4 years you will reach to 40-50,000, because now here hospital pharmacist, the same kind of dispensing, the same kind of clinical pharmacy, the same kind of work he is doing, the same kind of prescription review he is doing. But in clinical research he is working on multiple studies, he is working on with his brains that how a new study has to be designed, which the patients have to be taken, how the data has to be analyzed, how we have to use technology to bring the new drug into the market. So now that's the comparisons between different kinds of jobs. And now the growth is towards clinical research. Most of companies are looking at towards clinical research. Yeah, now most of students ask this question. Next question is that career opportunities in India and abroad. So most of times I have spoken about in India, and what about opportunities in abroad? So I have got questions that what is the opportunity in US, Europe, Australia and Canada. So I can give live examples. My students who have taken training under me are working in Germany with a salary of 40-50 lakhs. My students are currently working in Canada who is earning more than 90 lakhs per annum with a 3 years of experience in clinical data management. My students who have undergone training under me is doing a MS in clinical research now. Now she is expecting a salary of more than 1 CR. In US she is staying. She has undergone training under me, and she got very much interested, and she is undergoing a university program. That fees itself is 60-70 lakhs. 2 years of program, MS program. And she is undergoing that trainings there now. She is expecting more than 1 CR. So now you can understand what is the clinical research in the other countries. And my students who have completed clinical research training program under me have gone to Australia also. They are working in hospitals in clinical trials also, and they are getting good amount of salary, because what amount we are spending for learning here is too much high in US or Europe. Now student comes from US, I say them, yeah, I'll charge 30-40,000 of a fees for them. They'll say, yeah, we will find, because there they have to pay in dollars, and it comes around 3 to 4 lakhs of the training fees to learn about clinical research. Now what they compare it to Indian currency, so for us it's 30-40,000 is big amount, for example I'm telling. So they are ready to take this training programs. So now what students in India with their plan is, they complete the trainings in Clinosol, and they take an internship certificate from Clinosol, and they go to abroad, and they go for abroad for studies, but they start working in industries like clinical research. Now that's what you have, huge number of opportunities, guys, because our most of work comes from Western countries, either it is Europe or from US. All clinical trials are being conducted from Europe and US, but India is growing like anything in terms of the opportunities in clinical trials. But you have wonderful opportunities in US and Europe and Canada. Canada, hell lot of opportunities, US, Europe, and we have an office in Germany also, and we give online trainings, digital trainings to German students, and we have one of the best teams in Germany also. So, and in Germany office we specifically give support to students who can complete the courses and go to Germany to work there. So interviews are being conducted from there itself, and we are supporting in that lines also. Yeah, so now that is about career opportunities in India and abroad. And yeah, so biggest question, what is all about Clinosol? So what is good about Clinosol? So now the first thing, Clinosol, when we started, we have thought what is not there in your PharmD or a B Pharm, M Pharm, we have to give training. What is there in B Pharm, M Pharm and PharmD, we don't want to give training. You may have therapeutics, you may have clinical pharmacy, you may have pharmacology, you may have that aspect, this aspect. We don't want to touch that. We want to touch what is industry required. So our syllabus is topmost syllabus, and we don't give trainings only small parts. Like for example, I say drug safety associate, it's a small job. If I give a training on that, you will get a job and you will leave. But I don't want to give that. So I want to give end-to-end trainings. Our syllabus is core part of Clinosol. So our syllabus we have developed, and we always every 2 months once we modify our syllabus. We look at it and we modify the syllabus repeatedly. So that's where our focus is. Our syllabus will not be unmatched with any of the organizations. We have the core backbone of our syllabus. And one of the biggest point, PharmD 50 years or 60 years or BPharm 5 years, they get 1 year, 2 years of validity. You can attend any number of batches, any number of times. You can listen to my classes, you can listen to our other classes with the same fees what you have paid at the initial amount. Biggest advantage of Clinosol is practical based learning. We don't believe on theoretical learning. No, we only believe on practical based learning. And this practical based learning, we have database, and Clinosol is only one training organization where it has all databases. We never believe on theoretical trainings. We don't teach on board and markers and slides. So we don't want to give you theoretical knowledge saying that I'll charge 4,000 and I'll complete your clinical research. I can do that, but I don't want to do it, because our trainings are meant by practical based learnings. And Clinosol students will publish review articles as well as research article, particularly in clinical research, not in your project work what you have done, because you have to showcase yourself that you have completed some research work, review work, before you are going into some company for interview. So you have to submit 2 articles, and these 2 articles are being given by us, and our students have published wonderful articles, and they are getting a lot of appreciations for this also. And apart from that, my students have to attend 7 international exams, certifications, where they have to clear that exams and put it in resumes. So review articles they have to put all practical based learning into resumes. They have to put all certifications into the resumes, and any number of interviews they can attend it. And our locations, you can use any of the locations. We have 3 locations. One is Hyderabad, one is Vizag, and one is Germany. Any locations you can attend the the trainings. So now this is what Clinosol is making difference. We don't speak lies, and our alumni are our backbones. The students who are getting jobs, they are pulling up more students. The students who are undergoing trainings, and they know about Clinosol, and they support Clinosol so much. So that's where Clinosol is making difference. We don't speak lies. We don't say that you will be given this and that. No, we believe on practical based learning. We make sure that student is overall developing in all aspects, and we have aptitude exams. You have to complete that. We have Excel trainings, we have communication skill trainings, we have presentation trainings. So, and my students, I'm very happy to say that my students will give presentations on the articles. And I think you can get back to Clinosol students if you want to listen to my student sessions. Some of the sessions are being recorded, and you can contact our students or our Clinosol HR. They'll be happy to help you with what our students have given sessions. And when we post our students articles to LinkedIn and to some of the companies, they feel happy and they say that yeah, we are ready to take. And we have sent internships to companies. Clinosol is the only one organization who is providing internship programs to companies, and we have sent nearly 8 PharmDs for internships, specifically PharmDs. And a big good news is that we have sent 2 more internship candidates yesterday, and from today onwards they start their internships. So now you see, lockdown period is also not stopping Clinosol to work. So Clinosol is working, and I am taking a lot of live sessions, a lot of online trainings. So per day we have 4-5 batches running in. Students come and they learn, they come up with a lot of ideas, they do a lot of research works. I think some of the PharmDs are doing research works with help of me also. I'm supporting them. Clinosol always supports the research work and review works. No worries about it. So that's about Clinosol, and till now Clinosol has reached to 100% placements, and currently we are looking for the students to complete exams. We have good number of students now who are waiting for completing of exams, and they are eagerly waiting once the exams are completed and they can go and start giving interviews, and they have that confidence that they are definitely going to clear the interviews. I hope my students are listening to this session, and I'm also eagerly waiting for this lockdown to be completed. If lockdown does not complete, don't worry, interviews will be handled through Skype, because as internships we are spending work from home. So internships is work from home. Couple of students, my students, have gone for internship. They are working from home, not to go to company. They have laptops and they are working on laptops the internship. So it's a good news that yesterday we had. So that's about Clinosol, and yes, until now we have placed so many students, and you can ask syllabus to our Clinosol team. You can ask about placement histories, placement records, and all those things to our students or our Clinosol HRs, everyone. And I'm done with my session. I'll be opening questions. Yeah, so I have some good number of questions. I'll open the questions, and I'll speak about the questions, and I'll be discussing about the answers. So first question, what is CR, what is PV, what is CDM, and what is clinical SAS? I think this question I have already answered when I took what are the different career opportunities we have, and we are giving trainings on all those things, and we have started online trainings from since 1.5 months, and my students are really enjoying online trainings, sitting at home, and they are reducing the time to travel. They are making use of lockdown period, and we are going to start a new batch from Monday onwards. So that's very good news. We have good number of students now, and we have small batch sizes. We don't allow huge number of students, so we have very small batches. What are the opportunities by learning CR, PV, and CDM and clinical SAS? I have said huge number of opportunities. Companies are looking at it. Okay, companies are looking at it, and if you are good knowledge, go for interview, clear these words, speak about what work you have done, you are cleared, and you are going to get a job. And remember one more thing, first, when you get a job, this is not enough for you. The learnings which you are learning from Clinosol, it has to help you for 20-30 years to grow in your career. Don't learn only one thing. I'll learn only clinical research, sir. I'll be lifelong, I'll stay like that. Okay, don't think like that. Think in such a words that if I learn clinical research, CDM, pharmacovigilance, and SAS, I can work in 4 industries, 4 departments. That's something which you have to think. Next question, what are the job opportunities in different companies? I think I have spoken about job opportunities, job roles. Next one, guys, Arif sir asked about Warangal. Yeah, guys, don't worry, I'm going to speak about Warangal also, don't worry. What are the roles of pharmacist in CR, CDM, and SAS? I think this is a one more time same question. How Clinosol is going to help students in learning these courses? We are providing all courses online, and everything is practical based. You will be given hands-on experience on each topic. Nothing theoretical, no slides, nothing. I don't believe on slides. If slides are there, you can put slides and you can learn. What is there to explain in slides? If I want to give a case, and I will give a case and solve it, finished. That's it. But if I give a scenario, and if I ask you to think how you develop a protocol, and you develop a protocol itself, that's a success for you. If I give a protocol and you develop a ICF, a case report form, and you are developing own your cases for pharmacovigilance, that's the difference. That's the difference. So you have to understand that. Yes, of now it's electronic data. Give me a minute, guys. Yeah, very shortly we are going to work on artificial intelligence. Okay, so that's something which we have to be ready. we are working on artificial intelligence trainings also. Yeah, apart from clinical pharmacist, what are the opportunities? PharmDs, these are the opportunities you have, and you are not working on anything other than drug discovery. You are still working on drug discovery with a very good salaries and with a very good life. Abroad opportunities, I think I have said you. Salary ranges, I have said you. Do we need to have computer languages to learn all this? I said no, not at all needed, but you have to learn new things parallelly. What are the companies generally expects freshers? So from freshers, if they are expecting nothing, like for example 10 freshers are there, out of 10 freshers 2 freshers are trained freshers. Do you expect that trained freshers will be hired or normal freshers will be hired? It's obviously trained freshers will be hired, because they can grow in their careers very quickly and they can learn very quick work. What kinds of companies? All IT companies, all CROs and all pharma companies and all hospitals hires this, who have these roles. All these companies and locations in India, maximum companies are in Hyderabad and Bangalore and Chennai. North India, Ahmedabad, we have good number of companies, and Mumbai we have, Pune we have. Recently Kolkata has started Cognizant and Wipro. And why companies require bond? How many years bond is needed by companies? Listen guys, very carefully you listen. This a very interesting question. I don't know who has asked this question. Companies require bond because if they train you and you learn that things and you leave that company. Now if you are a owner of that company, do you allow people to leave? You will have yes answer. Answer is no, because I want a person to get trained and work from me. So when you are taking a career, think about it. Think 4 times, 5 times, and then start your career. Okay, bond is needed guys. Companies differ from 2 to 3 years of bond, but yes, bond is needed. What is the difference between theoretical and practical learning? Practical learning, hands-on systems, hands-on work, development of projects. That's a hands-on, practical based, and we believe on practicals. Theoretical is putting on slides, speaking about slides, writing on board, giving the notes. These are all theoretical knowledge, and we don't believe. Clinosol never believes on theoretical knowledge. How international publications plays a role in interview process and acquiring good jobs? I think my students who have worked on international publications, they put that publication, like for example artificial intelligence in drug discovery. They speak about artificial intelligence in drug discovery, and then companies definitely hire them because they have done a research project on clinical research, and that too artificial intelligence. They will not have any answer as no. So when they put that I have done a research project on this, I know about this, then interviewer will be very happy that oh, they know more than us and we can use their knowledge. And is single course knowledge is sufficient to get a job? Answer is no. We should have a multi-talented. Answer is yes. Why? Because multi-talented people will be used in multitaskings. Where Clinosol is making difference? The practical based learnings, placements, company collaborations, MOUs with companies, internships, publications, and practical based learnings. So this is Clinosol making difference. What is the best option abroad? Diploma courses related to healthcare sectors or in India. So guys, it depends on your interest guys. I can't tell you which course is suits for you. It depends on your interest. Where do you want to go? Okay. So is MD possible after PharmD? Answer is sometimes yes, sometimes no. I can't say this answer yes or no. But one more time, there will be so much of questions that PharmD is not under MCI, Medical Council of India. So now who have completed MBBS can go into MD, because MBBS and MD both are into MCIs, Medical Council of India. So scope of PharmD is what I have said you, clinical research. Job opportunities and salaries, I have already discussed about this. After PharmD, which subject is better to do MS? I think clinical research courses or healthcare courses, all these are good. Give me a minute guys. Okay, now there are other questions also that after PharmD, which is best subject, please say about PharmD jobs works in Canada. PharmD jobs works in Canada. Already I have spoken about it. There are a lot of jobs in PharmD in clinical research. So you have a lot of scope in Canada also. So you can work in Canada. And Clinosol will provide you internship certificate to work in Canada. And Clinosol Research Private Limited is a private limited firm. We can provide internships. Okay, straightforwardly I am saying yes answer. We can provide internships. No other training organizations can provide internships. But those people who want to go for Canada or Australia or US, we can give internship certificates based on that. PharmD graduates are eligible for drug inspector. Answer is yes, they are eligible. You can go for this. Abroad jobs for PharmDs, as I said, every job is suitable. Exams to get in clinical research, there are so many certifications, but almost all certifications are in terms of the experienced people like CCRA, CCRC, CCDM, clinical SAS, base SAS, advanced SAS. Both certifications are there. Which one is better among CR and PV? So I think I can't tell you this answer which is good. CR and PV, everything is good. Is PharmD eligible for government jobs? Answer is yes. And in clinical research also you have government jobs, don't worry. Can you admire a course which is best for UK in masters after PharmD? You can do clinical research courses or health administrations, MBAs. And what are the opportunities of PharmD have in UK? Most of PharmDs in UK also, they are undergoing trainings with me as clinical research. So that's about all questions I have. I'm open for questions. You can provide questions if you have. I'll take questions for some more time. I'm open for questions. You can ask me questions. I'll wait for questions. And I will request everyone to give a feedback also, that how was the session and what do you want to listen next time onwards. And guys, before I close this session, before I take some questions, I wanted to thank my CSSF team, Clinosol Student Federation team. This Clinosol Student Federation or Clinosol Student Forum is formed to understand what are the reviews or what are the negatives Clinosol is having and how to take a feedbacks and to work on it. This live session is particularly requested by some of the PharmDs, CSF PharmDs. They wanted to listen what opportunities we have, and they had confusions that PharmDs can't work in this. So I wanted to truthfully, wholeheartedly thanks to CSF team. Guys, without you, I would not be able to conduct this kind of programs. Please support students. Please answer your questions from Hyderabad team, Warangal team, Vizag team, Germany team, all teams together. Work with students hand on hand to understand what is best for this clinical research people. So I'm very thankful for my directors. One director which we have is Uma Priya. Thank you, Uma. And our head from Vizag office, Randeep. Thank you, Randeep. And our HRs, marketing heads, and team from Germany, I'm thanking you so much, because without you guys we would not have turned to digital so much quick. From since 1.5 months we are working on online, and we are focusing on so much of things. And thank you so much guys, CSF teams. And I'm ready for questions. I have got some of the questions, and I'm really sorry who have not said thank you. Please, yeah, I request you, please talk about UGC and NET exam. Definitely guys, Taskeen, I'll be taking this. CSF team, please make a note of this point. And yeah, is it advisable to do MBA or PhD after PharmD? Varun, it depends on your interest. It depends on your interest what you wanted to take. Please don't believe on anyone's, believe on yourself. what you wanted to become. You wanted to go into a management, you wanted to go into a research. If you want to go into a management, go into MBA. If you want to go into a research work, then go for a PhD. Okay, and yeah, is there any NAPLEX coaching? Yes, we do have NAPLEX coaching, but that's a very long process, and that too due to US, COVID and all those things. We have some of the problems. Definitely we'll plan for an NAPLEX coaching live session also one time. And any other questions which I have missed? Guys, in Facebook you can ask questions. Any other questions? Yeah, please upload these videos. CSF team, please take care of this. Upload these videos in all digital medias. And guys, how to contact me? A very simple question everyone asks me. You have 3 or 4 ways to contact me. One is on Facebook. You have Clinosol page. You can like that page. One is on Insta. Follow that Insta. And one is on YouTube, Clinosol. You can subscribe that. All videos will be uploaded there. And one is Twitter. So anyone wants to go into Twitter, you can have. Regarding the lecturer jobs, yes, lecturer jobs, you are eligible for lecturer jobs. And any questions anyone have? And feedbacks, you can always give feedbacks. You can give. Yeah, we are uploading the videos. Definitely we are uploading the videos. And second time I have listened to I have listened to live session, and I am very much clear about my doubts. Thank you, Sheikh Shakir Ahmed. Thank you. And you guys are making me so much happy. Thank you for informing Warangal students. Yes, Arif is taking care of Warangal students, and definitely for Warangal students I am going to start a new batch specifically for Warangal students. Don't ever worry, I am here. And for Vizag students, don't worry. Don't ask me from which place you are. So I am from Andhra, Telangana, I am from North India, South India, everywhere. Sir, can you tell us what is HUR job, actual job is? I have to take another 1 hour of session for HUR. Sir, please mention name of HUR companies in Hyderabad for freshers. Novartis is hiring, guys. Novartis is hiring. And sir, can you please talk about opportunities after M.Pharm? M.Pharm, guys, Tazeen, M.Pharm, all opportunities which I have spoken are same. Okay, it's all for pharmacists, guys. What is medical advisor title? So guys, titles are being just given. Okay, their roles are being specified in the company. You can't say what is the title, and you can't say what is the job. I can tell I am a medical director. But what is the role defined, you really don't know. So medical advisors depends. If you ask what they do, then you will understand what they have. Just they say that I am a medical advisor for this big company. So but actually medical advisor is there is nothing called as medical advisor. Just they give that position or designation. Sir, IT companies, what kind of job do B.Pharm, M.Pharm students get? All clinical research jobs, guys. All. What is the actual role of clinical pharmacist? What exams after PharmD? Clinical pharmacist will be good at reviewing the prescriptions and counseling the patients. It's very interesting session, really good session. Sir, what do you say about pursuing masters even after a job into a company after a while, if you want to wish coming to future waiting for new session? Okay guys, I'll definitely take new sessions, and what new sessions you wanted, you can let me know. And next week I'm not going to have any live session. Next week we are allowing one CEO to have a session on ethics committee. How long it will take become a drug inspector after PharmD? Once government releases once government releases drug inspector jobs, then we are good, but they are not releasing. Which country is best for MS after PharmD? Almost all countries are good. And very informative sessions. And Facebook, guys, any questions anyone have? So feedbacks, I'm open for feedbacks and questions. Any few questions? I think we have already crossed 1 hour of time. I hope this session was interesting. This was very interactive session. Any questions or feedbacks, please let me know. And I wanted to specially thank CSF team. My heartful thanks to CSF teams. Please come to Warangal, sir. Yeah, ask coronavirus to leave Warangal. I will definitely come. Okay, Warangal is waiting. I know Vizag is waiting. I am currently in Hyderabad now, but I am available on all modes. Fruitful session. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So, anything else? Anyone have? Okay, guys. If no questions, I'll end up this session. And thank you everyone who have joined this sessions. And I think we have, yeah, Vizag is missing you, sir. I'm also missing Vizag, guys. How to become clinical research, sir? Guys, I have spoken about clinical research, everything. If you want to become a clinical research coordinator, please listen to all the videos. We are having a new demo session on Monday. You can contact Clinosol HRs, or you can message Instagram or Facebook or any places, or you can contact Clinosol Student Forum. The student forum is going to be posted in the Instagram and Facebook. You can contact. And yeah, my special thanks to one of the person from Vizag, Rafi. I think Rafi is available in this session. If he is available, I'm really thankful for getting the questions. And take care, sir. Warangal loves you. Oh, thank you. I love Warangal too. I love Vizag too. I love Hyderabad too. I love India. Thank you. Anything else? Funny people, guys. Really, I'm loving to read the messages, and I'm this because of you guys. Apart from that, I can't tell my words. And one of the good news is Clinosol is giving all online courses with a very reduced fees, so that student gets a lot of advantages of using online. And once you join the online courses, you can attend offline also for a period of 1 or 2 years. So no doubt about it. So anyone is thinking to start immediately, you can start about it. Okay, thank you so much. Have a nice rest of day, and enjoy your Sunday. And Clinosol Student Forum will get in touch with you. And thank you, guys. Thank you. Bye bye.